Red bird, let bird. Some fans saw the signs from the start. They spoke out, said Redbird don't get it what Milan's about. All these corporate moves got us out of tune. Maldini gone and he pursuing too soon. The soul of the club feeling taken for ransom. Ain't the Milan that we love feeling ghosted and abandoned. Redbird, they stepped in, but where's the soul? Now the curve is echoing, chants so bold. From the start, voices rang. Yeah, we had a plan like, yo, Redbird, let go of Milan. Bought our crest, but they sold our pride. We bled for the red and black, but they're taking us for a ride. Tradition getting lost in their bottom line chase. And the true fans, we just lose and face. This city built legends, champions rose. But Redbird don't get it, they just counting zeros. Redbird, they stepped in, but where's the soul? Now the curve is echoing, chants so bold. From the start, voices rang. Yeah, we had a plan like, yo, Redbird, let go of Milan. Reppin' ACM, that means something deep. It ain't all shiny brands, it's a legacy we keep. They think they can buy up the passion we bring, but they don't know what our red and black means. Milanista's calling for respect of our crest. Redbird, you missed it, this ain't no business test. So here's the word from the Curvers chant. You can't buy a history, you gotta understand. From Sheva to Apollo, pride we won't sell. If Redbird won't listen, then it best farewell. Fans got the passion, this club we uphold. So hear us now, this story's retold. Redbird, they stepped in, but where's the soul? Now the curve is echoing, chants so bold. From the start, voices rang. Yeah, we had a plan like, yo, Redbird, let go of Milan. 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 Bought our crest, but they sold our pride. We bled for the red and black, but they're taking us for a ride. Tradition getting lost in their bottom line chase. And the true fans, we just lose and face. This city built legends, champions rose. But Redbird don't get it, they just counting zeros. Redbird, they stepped in, but where's the soul? Now the curve is echoing, chants so bold. From the start, voices rang. Yeah, we had a plan like, yo, Redbird, let go of Milan. Redbird, let go of Milan. Let go of Milan. Redbird, they stepped in, but where's the soul? Now the curve was echoing, chants so bold. From the start, voices rang. Yeah, we had a plan like, yo, Redbird, let go of Milan. Reppin' ACM, that means something deep. It ain't all shiny brands, it's a legacy we keep. They think they can buy up the passion we bring, but they don't know what our red and black means. La la la, red and black, let go of Milan. Redbird, 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 Redbird, let go of Milan. Let go of Milan.
What's going on, Milanisti, Calcio fans? It's cocktail hour on a Friday night down here in Mexico. What's going on, Milan Nation? Your host, Nicko, as always. And we have a special episode of the Milanista Report, Cocktail Hour. This episode is sponsored by 400 Coñejos Mezcal. All right. Cheers to everybody. Saludos. Happy Friday. Happy weekend. All right. Fadinho, man, you're always locked in. Good to see you, Fadinho. Cheers to you, pal. All right. So on this Friday night episode, I'll be diving down deep on a few different topics. The first one is pressing principles, just the basics of pressing. Fonseca's tactics that he's using now defensively compared to what he did at Lille, and how those tactics he's using now are not effective. We'll dive into that, the reasons behind that. Also, some bad takes from certain popular podcasters as well, and this is not a personal attack, but they've had some really bad takes of late, especially defensive takes. And then we'll get into the preview of the Monza game on Saturday. and the next 5 Champions League games coming up. All right. So just get a little background. So the reason I'm doing this, being that I'm seeing a lot of stuff out there, I've had a couple of discussions as well with fellow Milanisti out there that are really into tactics like myself. And just seeing a lot of noise out there about the defense. What's wrong with the defense? Fonseca's fixed it. You know, Chow's coming out publicly and said, yeah, he feels confident under Fonseca more than under Pioli with the defense that's tight, that they fixed the issues, which they have not, obviously. All right. We saw that in the last few games against Napoli, obviously, with that first goal that went down, and things like that. So that's what we're going to jump into tonight's show. Cool. Everybody's in the chat. I see there's about 6 people. Can you do yourself a solid, please? Hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Smash that like button and follow the channel as well. All right, cool. So let's dive into tonight's episode. So pressing principles, right? So let me get into the basic stuff here. Being that some people out there believe that not all 10 players on the field should be pressing, all right? Especially with today's squad that we have. So this was written by a Serie A coach, right? He wrote for Criterio Tecnico, Pressing Fundamentals, right? This is his thesis for his FICG A license, his candidacy, right? So pressing, let's get into it. So pressing is a collective defensive action. I stress defensive action of strong pressure on the ball on nearby supports aimed at the immediate ball recovery. A pressing action is a message from the defending team. We're not waiting for the end of your action or mistake to get possession of the ball, but we want to come quickly to win it back. There are obviously different types of pressing and different heights. All right, so that's just a bunch of other noise. But the most important thing out of that is it's a collective thing. Pressing, high press, counter pressing, whatever you want to call it, whatever we're dealing with here tactically, right? As a team, you need every single player to press, to work, to find those pressing points. Look for them, right? Whatever it's a loose touch by the attacker, right? They're not paying attention. They got to stop your first touch. The pass is weak. Things like that. You need to realize those pressing triggers and react accordingly. All right. And the reason I'm saying this is because as of late, since the beginning of the season, we've noticed certain players do not press all the time or do not recover in time. They're sitting and not pressing. Is it either Liao or it could be Okafor or Chucky on occasion? All right. And some fans out there are saying, well, Liao doesn't need to press. He didn't press before. He didn't press in the Pioli when we won the Scudetto. Or we went to the Champions League semifinals. Well, let me tell you something. Do not compare those teams to this team. Right now, the way we're currently set up, right, is our midfielders. The only midfielder that knows what they're doing defensively is Fofana. That's it. What's up, Chris? What's up, Abdullah? I'll get to you guys in a minute. All your comments and later on during the show, if you guys want to jump on as well. All right. We have Fofana is the only one who can defend on a regular basis, and he's not an all-star caliber defender, defensive midfielder. He's okay. But when you compare him to the rest that we have in the squad, if you compare him to Musa, if you compare him to Tijani, if you compare him to Loftus Cheeks, ass cheeks, if you compare him to Pobega that we had before, he is the best defender that we have right now, defensive midfielder. But if you compare that midfield that we have now to Kessie, Tonali, a healthy Benny, even Krunic when he played, even though he was overused, when we had those players playing supporting the attackers, all right, on the press or on a counter press, whatever we were doing at the time. Leao could afford not to press because you had people working their ass behind them. You had Tonali covering a ton of ground, like smart running. He wasn't running around without a purpose. He was recovering a ton of balls, and we'll get into those stats in a minute. Why our stats are not great recovering balls compared to those some Serie A teams. All right, we'll break it down in a little bit. Yeah, our Monza game is tomorrow. And Leah, we'll get into the starting lineup in a little bit, guys, later in the show. All right. So the fact that we have Fofana back there, we have Tajani back there, or a combination of Fofana and Loftus-Cheeks or Musa, those guys do not defend, do not cover the amount of space like our other midfielders that we had in the past. They were defensively stronger midfielders. They covered a ton of ground. They helped out the fullbacks when they were 1v1 against those wingers. All right. That's why Leao, especially Theo, looked better. Especially Leao could afford to take time off and not press because he was just waiting for the counter, right? For us to recover the ball, one of our midfielders, either Tonali, Kessie, Benny, whatever, and boom, off we went on the counter attack on the left side with Theo pushing up. The fact that we don't have those midfielders anymore, we don't have the quality of midfielders, we can't afford not to have all 10 players collectively pressing. So that's one. All right. Two. All right. Let's get into counter pressing. And then we're going to get into some principles from some stuff from Ralph Ragnick on his principles on pressing, the stuff that he looks for, and show those pressing approach as well. All right. From Atletico Madrid, coach that I absolutely fucking love, even though his team is struggling right now. But when his team is pressing, you saw against our Inter Snakes in last Champions League game in that second leg, how they pressed and they disrupted Inter's game plan. So let me jump to page 48 because I've highlighted a couple pages here, guys. Is that the one? 48. Counter pressing. Where are you, little? Okay. Where is it? So now when I can't find it, I can't find it. Defensive counter pressuring. All right. Hold on, guys, because my computer just froze. So, hey, by the way, while I'm trying to find that page, what do you guys feel about tomorrow's game? Tell me. Give me your thoughts about tomorrow's game. I'm not going to get into much Redbird BS today. I'm going to avoid shitting on Redbird because I did enough of that on the post game with John. We had a good turnout for that as well. So here we go. Found it finally. So numbers on pressing and counter pressing are fundamental significance. They are aspects investigated by whatever this dissertation. We don't need to get into that stuff. The results are very interesting. Top teams counter pressing are about 30 to 35 per game with 70% chance of successfully recovering the ball immediately. The average duration of these positive counter pressing is about 5 seconds and involves an average of 2.5 players. All right. The players most involved in the counter pressing are, of course, the midfielders, and the top players in their aspect of the game are able to complete more than 12 counter pressing actions on average per game. So you need the midfielders to be strong on the counter pressing and your attackers to initiate it. So again, if not all attackers are initiating the counter press and they're sitting on their ass, especially someone like Leao, again, because Leao is focus on a lot of times. Offensively, he's amazing most of the time, but that's why he's being benched because he doesn't work hard off the ball. And Fonseca is asking that out of him. out of his players because he knows he doesn't have a strong midfield. So when Leao or anybody, Pulisic, Chucky, whoever loses the ball, you need to immediately try to win the ball back. You can't sit there and pout. You can't sit there and cry. You can't sit there and try to beef, I don't know, sulk and cry like a 12-year-old. You're a professional player. You should be getting back up and immediately trying to get the ball back. All right? If that's not working, if that's not happening, the counter-pressing goes to hell. Unless you have a strong defensive midfield, which we don't, again. So that's 2. Now, boom, let's get into Ralph Rangnick's principles. All right, so give you guys a little bit of a history lesson here. All right, so first thing is high organized pressing. Rangnick advocates for pressing high up the pitch with a focus of creating organized traps. Traps are like when you're allowing something Pioli did. He allowed one pass to go successfully. They would leave one person unmarked, right, on purpose on the pitch. They wouldn't mark them when they were man-to-man pressing, for example. They'd leave them open, allow the pass to go in, and that was called a pressing trap. Just like when you're boxing or whatever in a combat sport, you allow your opponent to jab you, all right? Because now you're setting them up for something else. You're setting up for a trap. Just like if you ever boxed or kickboxing, you throw a left hook, all right? That's why they're going to dodge it. They're going to try to go on the other side, and you set them up with that right high kick, right to the dome. Boom. That's a press. That's a trap, right? And this is how you're trapping in soccer, in football, is with you allowing passes to successfully be completed, all right? And once they make a mistake with the pass, if the pass is too hard, boom, you're on them, all right? Another one, compact shape and quick transitions, intelligent triggers for pressing. We talked about before, such as poor touches, backward passes, etc. Positional play and voluntary pressing. All right. Counter pressing mentality. This is a big one. You need to have the mentality to counter press, which some of our players don't have. And role specific pressing. Each player has a specific role within the pressing system. So each player, attackers, midfield, are responsible for initiating the press. Doesn't mean one player or 2 players can take off. You need everybody to work as a unit. So everybody out there is telling me, oh, it's okay that Leao doesn't press. You need to press as a team. All right, let's get into Diego Simeone, by the way. By the way, everybody that just chimed in, locked in, Chris, cheers, fellas. Cocktail hour in effect. Yeah, that's strong. Woo. Strong ass mezcal. All right, so let's get into Cholo stuff. So Cholo, he often defends in a compact mid-block or low block, setting up a 4-4-2 shape. Something that's like the most common shape when you're playing a high press and going to a mid-block. It's the 4-4-2. Something that was created by this guy, Viktor Maslov. He was a Russian coach back in the day in the 40s, I believe, when he was coaching Kiev. He was the one that was the OG godfather of pressing on the 4-4-2, which we saw later with our former great fucking coach at Milan, Saki. He implemented that with that zonal pressing with those great Milan teams at 4-4-2. And that's why a lot of teams are using that formation till this day. When it's used right, it's extremely effective for a reason. Another principle from Cholo, trigger pressing, right? So looking for certain triggers, heavy touch, whatever, same thing as Rangnick, being compact and cohesion, right? Working as a unit again, either double teaming and pressing aggressively. Patient counter pressing. So their team's a little bit more patient on the counter press. And intensity and mental resilience. Again, intensity. So all of these top coaches, when they're coaching these pressing tactics, philosophies. It's all the same shit. They're talking about working as unit, being intense, looking for certain triggers, heavy touches, bad touches, whatever, poor passes, backward passes, things like that. And if one player's not doing it, especially if your midfield is not strong, the shit ain't gonna work. So that's your breakdown of pressing principles. So again, if anybody out there, Milan fans, Calcio fans, football fans, soccer fans, whatever, and especially if you're watching Milan, you're going to sit there and tell me or anybody else that knows football, especially tactically, and watches the game just in a different way, different perspective, right? If you tell them it's okay for one of our players to take off a play on when we're losing the ball, you're out of your minds. You're absolutely wrong. And check it out. Let's get into some stats now. So stats. FB ref in the house. Squad advance. So let's look at our comparison of opponents' stats. So this is how much for Milan we've allowed 92% of short passes compared to Atlanta, who's ahead of us. They're allowing only 87.4 because their pressing is extremely intense and fucking great under Gasperini. They're ahead of us. Fiorentina at 87, and teams ahead of us. Inter, who's ahead of us in the standings, 89.8. Juve, 89.7. Lazio, who's ahead of us, 88.5. And we're at 92.5. Medium, we're at 89.3. Lazio, 87. Juve, 87. Inter, 87. Atlanta, 87. So medium passes, they're allowing less percentage of medium passes to be allowed to be successfully completed. All right. Let's go to accepted assists. Let's go into key passes. 77. Milan, we've allowed 78 key passes. So we're decent in that range. Passes in the penalty area, we're at 56. Atlanta's at 52. Bologna's at 46. But there was another stat I want to get at is we've allowed 267 progressive passes. Atlanta 218. Fiorentina 293. Let's give you a real number. Lecce, who's like the bottom, they're fucking at 509, that's a ton of key passes, progressive key passes, squad passes. Where's the big one I want to do? Okay, yeah. Squad goals and creations. Where's squad defensive actions? Here we go. So let's break down. We've won 46% of our challenges. Lazio at 44. Juve 62. Inter 50. At Atlanta 53. Bologna 50. So we've only won 46%. Interception 61, which is not bad. It's decent numbers. Where's the recoveries? Passes received. Recoveries. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Anyone? Are we buying anyone during the winter break? Yeah, Fadinho. Cool. Thanks, bro. Good seeing you always. We're gonna get into the games late in a bit, guys. But I really wanted to touch on these subjects today because everybody's pissing me off. Certain people with their really bad takes. Are we buying anyone during winter break? I doubt it. Anybody good? Chris, we talked about There's been rumors about Ricci, but I think Ricci's going to go to Inter or some Juve, some other big club that actually, prefers Italian cores, Italian players, especially talented ones, and want to spend the cash. We're not. And two, I think there's some noise about Gianni Cardozo again, the kid from Spain who plays for the U.S. team. He's just another average midfielder that recovers balls well. So nothing really interesting on that end. All right. So, okay, here we go. Recoveries, you son of a bitch. Ball recoveries, big one. All right. So just to put this in perspective, at Atlanta, Gasparini, there are 442. We are at 301. That's a piss poor number. Monza's got more recovery balls, 335. Juve, who's ahead of Lazio's ahead of us, 363. Juve, 366. Inter, 351. We're near the fucking bottom, guys. We don't recover enough balls at all. The one thing we're good at, we've won 52% of our aerial duels. But interception-wise, we're at 61. No, hold on. Yeah. These numbers and the ball recovery is the big one. This is talking about counter pressing when we're trying to get the ball back. That's the counter pressing is when the ball recoveries are related to counter pressing and our press. We're not recovering a lot of balls. So this whole talk about, Fofana's a great ball recovery CDM, just like the guys we had in the past, is not actually true. Eye test and stats prove that. We're only at 301. Not good enough. So there you go. That's a breakdown of a couple key stats from FBref on our defensive tactics, defensive stats. And one of the reasons why another reason why our defense overall is not performing, besides the tactics. What's up, Fabio? No, did I say Bologna? It's been a long day. Monza. Monza. All right. So enough of that. Let's get into the next segment, fellas. Fonzie's defensive tactics. So at Lille, he played a similar style of play. He played a 4-2-3-1. He also played a 4-3-3. He really had a really high line at Lille, right? High pressing. They were very aggressive, being they had very athletic players, just like Yoro, Thiago Santos. He also had Bafodi, Dikete. This other center back, very athletic, fast. Their midfielders were athletic as well, covered a lot of grounds. And everybody pressed as a unit was the big one. But more importantly, they had Thiago Santos, who was a fast fullback, and he had this kid Ismail starting a lot of the games. And obviously you had Yoro either playing that right center back position or left center back position, right? Super athletic players was able to allow Fonseca to do a high press and play that pressing, that offsides trap as well. All right. Something that we got caught on during that last game against Napoli. We were playing that offside trap, and because that's what Fonseca plays. But when you have two slow center backs, and they're not communicating, they're not experienced, and they're not on the same page because they haven't played enough games together, just like Chow and Pavlovic, and they don't have enough speed to recover like Tomori to make up for your mistakes. You can't play that kind of high line. But Fonseca, this is what he played at Lille, and he's doing the same thing at Milan. But he doesn't have the same players that he had in Lille. All right? And this is why his tactics, the same exact tactics that he used at Lille, are not working here at Milan. He needs to adapt to the players that he has. Yes, management should have gotten the players that he wanted, But the fact is, when you have Emerson Royal, who's slow as shit, and you also play with Terracciano, left back sometimes. All right, obviously Theo has the speed. When you can't afford to push up Emerson Royal on the attack, which we've seen time and time again, because you're leaving your two center backs, especially if they're two inexperienced center backs sitting there by themselves, like Pavlovic and Chow, who are known to make mistakes, don't have the same IQ as Gabi defensively, or the same speed as Tomori. You can't afford to have your right fullback bombing up the pitch, because Emerson Royal does not have the speed, doesn't have the pace, whatever you want to call it, to get back in time to recover. And when you only have one midfielder that's actually getting back most of the time to cover that space that Emerson Royal left, is not enough. Because when you have Musa out of position, Tijani out of position, Loftus-Cheek's out of position, you can't have just one midfielder doing that work by themselves. But if you have a player like Thiago Santos, you can afford to do that. Thiago Santos is a very dynamic right back that I know Fonseca wanted, but he didn't get. So that's the big reason why these tactics are not working at Milan. But a good coach, a world-class coach, just like Conte, Inzaghi, they adapt. We've seen how Conte has adapted this year with Napoli. He's known for a three-back system, and a lot of cases with Napoli, he's playing four in the back. And when they're sitting back, they're playing a 5-4-1, or 5-4-1 or a 5-3-2 low block, which we saw them play against Milan, Napoli. But he's adapting, because for all his life, Conte was known as a three-back system coach. Inzaghi makes changes to his team, depending on who's missing, depending on the season, depending mid-season, what's working, what not. High-level coaches make these adjustments with their personnel they have. And Fonseca, as we know, is not on that level. And he's never going to be, because he's not some new, all right? I don't think he has the ability to make that change, because he's so goddamn stubborn. He's sticking with the same old tactics that he used at his previous team, which are not flying here with a more tactical league in Serie A. We're more high-level coaches overall. The French league is very pacey, a very fast league. It's not that tactical compared to Serie A. So that's my little rant about tactics. Now, next phase. And I hate to do this, but this is out of respect for the tactical part of the game, the fact that I care about the game way too much, basically defensive tactics. So recently, Kush, and which I love his editing. He does a good job on his videos. I'm just gonna put it out there. Recently put a video out, and there were some remarks, some feedback on his comments from a friend of mine, Nathan, who's really good on tactics as well. He's a good dude. He's on Rossoneri TV. He's got to find. There we go. So he put down. So let's get to the beginning of this. So where is it? So Nathan. Also, the only reason why they're only space is because Napoli's setting up to sit back. All right. Where is it? Hold on. Let me find the original post. He has not helped the defense ever. He's racked up 100 goals. So this is his response. Kush's meaning he never defended the four. Just like I said before, he's won the MVP. He was a Ballon d'Or nominee. Leao, he shouldn't defend. And just like I said before, and Nathan confirmed my take earlier that I had. Leao doesn't even press my guy, let alone help any the left back out. So again, Kush, I love you to death. I respect you. But like I just broke down earlier, there's a reason why Leao needs to press what every player should be pressing collectively. I don't care how many goals you score. If you're not working hard off the ball, when you're just supporting midfielders, back line is not that high, that great like it was in the past. You can't afford not to defend. So, Kush, you're wrong on this point. Okay? That's the first bad take, is the fact that Kush thinks Liaj shouldn't be pressing. He should, just like I broke it down in great fucking depth, dove deep into that earlier. Now, the other one is Mr. Puccio. Magnan getting beat on the Carver goal was shocking. So he's blaming Mike for that second goal. So on that play, if you realized, Carver was 1v1 on Emerson. And Emerson, to his credit, so a right back or any fullback has a couple different options when you're defending a player, right? Especially a pacey winger, right? Like a Kvaratskhelia, like Vinicius, whatever, Rodrigo, and Mbappe. You can either force them on the outside, right? Force them wide and allow them either, and Emerson, to his credit, was had enough space between him and Kvaratskhelia to make up for that lack of speed, right? That arm length distance away. Emerson was actually in a good position for once. So that's why he could have forced him out wide and allowed him to cross to try to take him out wide and force a cutback pass or something like that. Or number two, which Emerson did decide to do, all right, because this is what fullbacks are taught at the academy level, is you can force him in. Now, that's what Emerson did. He noticed when he looked over to his left, Fofana was there. Cover him. So Fofana actually did a good job on that play. But Fofana didn't read the play quick enough. So the time Emerson took away that outside part of the field away from Kvaratskhelia, he forced him inside into the middle of the pitch because he had to support. All right. He's like, all right, I'm going to force you inside. Fofana's there to cut you out, right? So you don't take a good shot on goal to prevent you from doing anything dangerous and trying to score on us. All right. Fofana was just a step too late, just a millisecond too late. He was there. He had shut him down, but not quick enough. All right. And that's just because he just didn't read it, didn't anticipate Kvaratskhelia first move. And that's where a high level midfielder comes into place. Somebody like a Gravenberch from Liverpool, something like that, where they read the play, anticipate where the opponent's going to go with the ball, and they're on them like a fucking hawk. And Fofana was just a step too late. And Kvaratskhelia, because he's got high level skill, he's a fucking great player. Unfortunately, I hate to say it, he curved the ball. Those curved shots, curving them around the defender and under their feet, between their legs, and getting it past the keeper. That's something he practiced again and again and again and again and again in training. And also, if you realize in that play, his two center backs, Mike's, were slightly in front of him. They were slightly obstructing his view, just enough that he didn't see the ball right away. Now, if those two center backs were further out wide, covering the far post and the near post, for example, which some teams train to do, right? Some EPL teams do that as well, especially. They have their center backs. They're taught not to try to block the shot, but to take a corner. Pick a corner. You cover the back post, the far post, or cover the near post, and let the keeper deal with the goal, the shot on goal, head on. So we don't obstruct his view or accidentally deflect it, and it's an own goal. And there was a slight obstruction from his two center back. So he didn't react. Mike couldn't see the ball right away. Couldn't read the pace of the ball, how much the coverage of the ball, all the stuff that happened in that play. And Mike fell the right way. He didn't get nutmeg. He didn't make any really crazy, stupid error. And he got to the ball a millisecond late. But he didn't read the ball well. So again, Mike, this is not on Mike's fault. This is not Emerson Royale's fault. This is not on the winger's fault for not getting back in time. All right? This shit just happens. Fofana, to his best, tried to get there in time to close down on him, but he was just a split second too late. So that's number 2 on that. All right. Mike's is one of the top 5 goalkeepers in the world. So we're lucky to have him. All right. Enough of that. Let's get into the game, to the chat, boys. Actually, let's see what's up. Who's in the game? Hey, what's up, Gio? All right, so Chris, Gio, Fabio, cheers, everybody in the chat. It's happy hour. By the way, Gio, shout out to you and your Dodgers for taking out the Yankees. I've been a Mets fan since 85. Grew up. I mean, Fabio knows this. Valley Stream, that's not too far away from the old Chase Stadium out there, near Astoria, Queens. Right? Used to go there all the time. My little league coach used to work at Shea Stadium. So anytime we used to get tickets, he used to get us down, used to get us better seats all the time. So I used to go to Mets game in 85. They were just heating up, right? And then 86, 87, went to a ton of home games. So yeah, a long time Met fan. I don't get to see him as much on television, TV anymore, as much as I like to. But yeah, thanks for taking out those Yankees. All right. But that being said, guys, give me your thoughts on the shit that I just broke down, on the game. And also give me your thoughts on this weekend's match with Monza. All right. Like I said, let's keep away. I don't want to get into the Redbird drama today. Touched on that way too much on this past weekend's pod with John as well. All right. So let's hear it. I think Fabio probably left. I don't know. Whatever. I'm not sure. Well, if everybody's still in the chat, give us your thoughts. Keep the chat going, boys. All right. Next, let's go into the Monza match. So, Monza. Let's go to F. We had it up here earlier. Where the hell are you? Okay, Fatmad. So, Milan. Where's our fixture? Monza. Yeah, here we go. Tomorrow. 3:45 game my time. So the predicted lineup for Monza, they go with a 3-4-2-1. They got Turati in goal, Carboni playing that left center back, Mari center back, Izo right center back, Kirikopoulos, my Greek brother on the left side, Pessini, Bondag, a dangerous player. Kirikopoulos is pretty dangerous as well. He's a decent player. Pereira, we got our Maldini, obviously starting next to Mota, and then Juric. Our team, so Fatma has Calabria. There's been some other lineups that has Terracciano playing that right back position. That's his natural position, that right side, right? He played that hybrid role in his previous team at Verona. So Calabria or Terracciano, depending on which side you're looking at. Ciao. Okay, so Gabi's still out. I would assume he's still hurt. Pavlich should not be playing, and he needs some more time to adjust to the league. Tomori, Theo's back. Obviously, Mike's in goal. There's been also other rumors that Mike might be benched. We'll see that tomorrow. We'll talk about that. We'll find out if that's true or not. Tijani, Fofana on that double pivot. Leal, Pulisic, Chucky. So there were other rumors, other lineups that predicted Okafor, because we've heard a lot of talk about Leao being benched as well over Okafor. Pulisic in that cam role, Chucky on the right, Morata. If Calabria is playing, I like to see how he actually does. He's been benched. He hasn't played in a long time. I don't know how fit he is. I mean, luckily for him, that left side of Monza not super dangerous under Nesta. Obviously Maldini's always a dangerous player against us. He's always finds a way to put a goal, to get a goal against us all the time. So that's tomorrow's lineup. Florenzi's still out. Gabi's still out. Benny's still out. Jovic is never coming back, I guess. Tammy's still banged up with the shoulder injury. For Monza, Andrea Pectagani, he's sick. I don't know with what. Galliani's physical discomfort. Stefano Sensi's muscle injury, and as Alessio Gragno shoulder injury. So in terms of forms, Monza's not that great. They've lost. They lost against Napoli. They tied Roma, beat Verona, tied Venezia, and lost to Atlanta 2-0. Not surprising. And this is a lot of pressure on Nesta too. He's in the hot seat, and I'm guessing it. I'm assuming Fonseca's got to be in the hot seat as well, because if you look at the table, because we got one less game because the Bologna game was canceled. If we just refresh the page, son of a bitch. So if we win, we're at 17 points. All right. Obviously, if we tie, we're just at 15. So obviously, forget long picture, long-term project, all that other noise. Just focusing on this game. Listen, if Fonseca doesn't adjust and make the adjustments that he needs to make, all right, because the shit that he's doing right now, the things that he's working on, the high line with the wrong players, being that even with Tomori, you can afford a high press a little bit because he's fast. But he's got to make some changes, because if this is another bad performance and we lose to Monza of all teams, or even tie him, it's going to be, I would say, adios for Fonseca, for Fonzie. I don't know who's going to take his place. All right, let me do this, guys. Hold on. Let's do that. All right. Kim, what's up? What's up, and Kim? Fonseca doesn't trust the youth. So I'll get to Chris's point in a minute, right now, actually. We were promised, right? We were told, that's the reason they brought Fonseca in, because he's good at playing youth players. That's what he did at Lille. I'm guessing he had more control over there. I'd like to see Liberali get some minutes if he's being called up, if he's on the roster tomorrow. Let's see if he is. I have no idea. Udinese. I don't want Udinese. Milan. Let's see who's on tomorrow's roster. Take a quick peek, and I'll get to Kim's in a minute. What's up, Kim? Biggie, can't you see? Your word just hypnotized me. Doesn't give me the bench players. Who's on the bench? That's not cool. It's not kosher. Where are you at? I don't know. Okay, Fatma doesn't want to give me that. Let's go to SofaScore. So for score, AC Milan. Hey guys, everybody in the chat, I want to hear, who do you want to replace Fonzie if and when he gets fired? Sorry, Allegri, Constantine, he's still out there. I don't think he locked up a job yet. He's still unemployed. Oh, I'm getting Udinese. I don't want Udinese. I want Milan. There we go. Ding, ding, ding. Monza lineup. Here we go. So for score. You got there's like so many different predicted lineups tomorrow. It's nuts. So score has Royale playing. Jesus Christ. I don't want to see that guy on the pitch ever again. But everything else is the same. So score. Tijani, Rafa, Morata, Pulisic on the cam, Chucky on the right. But this one has Royale. God damn it. I don't want Royale ever again. This is just send him to Serie C. But you couldn't even hang it over there, too. Those kids will eat him up. Where is the subs? Why can't I get the subs? I don't know. All right, fellas. I'm lost here. None of these sites are giving me the subs. So let's just say, for argument's sake, Liberali's there, Zeroli, Vas, and Kamada. I don't know if that's going to happen, but let's see if they're all called up. That's more important than playing Serie C because the Futura team is stinking it up right now. Bonera is a horrible coach, way worse than Fonseca. It's failing right now because those kids are not. They're losing all the time is not healthy. I didn't expect them to win Serie C and be promoted. I didn't think that was going to happen. Not in the first season. There's too many players out there that have been, going between Serie C and Serie B and Serie A for a long time. The veterans of Calcio, they're hungry to get back into Serie A. But I wasn't expecting is made to be a little bit competitive, have those kids being developed, playing a good system, playing under a good coach, and being prepared to be called up for the Serie senior team. That being said, Liberale should be playing minutes, not 5 minutes. Kamada should be playing some minutes against supposed to team like Monza. Zeroli as well. And Vas. All these kids should be at least in the training sessions as well and pushing the starters. These starters don't get lazy and realize, hey, I got these young blood kids, these hungry kids nipping at me, trying to get my spot. I can't fuck up. So I'm hoping we see some of them tomorrow and get some quality minutes, not 5 minutes, not 10 minutes. Just like Kamada had the other day against Napoli. They're up 2-0, Napoli. They're playing in a low block. They're not taking any chances the whole game. Because that's what Conte wanted. And you put Kamada in for 10, 12 minutes. Whatever. What is he going to do in those type of game? When the team's that playing that kind of system, there's no very slim chance of you making an impact. So these kids should be getting some time, 100%, Chris. But that's all bullshit too. That's a bunch of lies. Kim, is it true that the reports are saying that we lose both Monza and Real, that Fonseca will get fired? Mancini is the new likely name to replace him. So that's a name we haven't heard in a long time. I know he just recently was let go from his club in Saudi. With the reports that they gave him like 20 mil, that's an insane amount of money to leave a club. They got money to fucking burn over there in the Saudis. I gotta look into man. I'd like to see Mancini back, maybe leading this club. I got to take a look. It's been a while since I've looked at his tactics, see how he would fit if he's able to tighten up the defense and get this offense going a little bit. Because both phases of the field, we haven't done jack recently. They've been piss poor. So it could be just rumors, Kim, or it could be, straight facts. I don't know. Depending on the source is too, right? So that'd be interesting to see. Do I think Fonseca is going to lose his job? No, I doubt it. I think they're going to keep Homeboy. They're going to keep Fonzie way longer than that. I hope not. But I think even though Redbird, I didn't want to touch this, but I guess I have to now. If Redbird's going to not support any coach and not provide him with the players, the infrastructure, keep Ibra around and Mancada and everybody else poking their noses into the team. At least somebody like Mancini, somebody like Allegri, who's got a ton of experience. They can at least implement their system a lot quicker than Fonseca has, because a lot of players are still lost. When Kulu left to go to Juve, he said it publicly. He said under Fonseca, under Fonzie, there was no direction. He was confused. But when he went to Juve under Motta, who's a coach who's way younger, has less experience than Fonzie, said, yeah, I know, I have clearer instructions. Because Fonseca, a middle-level coach of Fonseca, has a hard time getting his ideas through to the players to have them understand what he's trying to accomplish on the pitch. And it looks like fucking chaos. So we got Mancini, Sarri, Allegri, all Italian coaches, all with a ton of experience. So any of those three candidates, I know we don't want to recycle Allegri again, but fuck, if we just can get some, that means we can get some, 1-0 wins, tighten up the defense, right? Even just for this season, because I don't think any of those three coaches are long term. I don't think so. Maybe Mancini, but definitely not Allegri, in my opinion. At least that'd be good. At least we would be able to compete for a top 4 spot. Is that good enough? No, but expectations, being realistic with this project, with the way things are running, with the players that we have, yeah, top 4 is the way to go. If we finish top 5 and we go into Europa, or is it top 6? I don't even know. I think even top 5 we go to Champions League. So yeah, for Redbird, perfect. A top 5, we're still in the Champions League. They could care less where they're seated, all that stuff, what pot they're going to be in, blah blah blah. We're in the Champions League, extra cash, cha-ching. So we'll see. We shall see. All right, let's get into the next 5 Champions League games. Let's see. Where is it at? Let's go. Here we go. All right. Next 5 Champions League game. Let's play a little game. So we got Real Madrid, Bratislava away. We got 2 away games. Cercina Sveda home, Girona home, GNK Dynamo away. So we got 2 home games out of those 5. Real Madrid coming up after Monza. I'm sure at this point, Carlos got his team ready, locked in, because they've been embarrassed. They got him, they had some, Champions League, they weren't looking too hot in the last couple of games. They lost to Lille. Fonseca's old team, so they're playing pretty well. Even though they lost some key people, they lost Euro to Man U. That kid's got injured right away. I feel bad for the kid. The promising center back. So Madrid, I don't see us winning that game, regardless of who we play right back. Because look at the disposal they got. I don't think Rodrigo's hurt, or I haven't seen him playing. I don't know if he's injured or what, or he's still on the team. I don't think he got traded. I think he's hurt. So you got Mbappe, Vinicius. All right, and the way Madrid plays, they kind of let their team flow, right? So they're overloading the left side or the right side. Most of the left side, they're overload. So it puts a lot more pressure on Royale or Calabria or Terracciano, whoever in that right side, and Fofana. Whoever's going to be playing on that right side, the right winger, needs to come back and defend. And they play, and we can't play a high line against them. Barcelona was able to play the high line because Flick has that locked down. Tactically, he was able to teach his team in a short time how to play the high line and effectively. We saw that when they caught Madrid offsides almost 20 times. Just fucking an insane number of offsides. We can't play that. We can't afford to play that. We need to sit back a little bit. We saw that that's when great coaches come into play. They adjust to their opponent. They adjust to the players that they have. Just like again last season, and I've said this before, Madrid last season against Man City, second leg, they adjusted. They played a mid block. They sat back, ate a ton of pressure because they were compact. They were they communicated, and they will eat a lot of pressure and win that game. Is Fonseca able to do that? Say, fuck it. I'm not going with a high block today, with a high line. Let me sit back. Let me go to a mid block right away to my 4-4-2 mid block or 4-2-4 mid block, whatever he's going to play, and soak up pressure and try to hit Madrid on the counter. Because if you try to do a high press and press either zonal pressing, hybrid pressing, zonal pressing, and again, if we're not pressing as a unit, they're going to kill us. Even though they're missing Kroos, he retired. Their midfield is not as great as it used to be. We can't afford to play that system of defense against this team. Bratislava, that's a winnable game. Spezia, we should win. Girona, that's a tough game. And Dynamo. So I think maybe we could possibly win 2 or 3 games here, which gets us to the next round. But what we do after that, I don't think we're going to make a lot of noise after that if we advance, which we should in Champions League. So that's your roundup for the next couple of games. Monza game we covered, and the next 5 games of Champions League. All right, let's get this going. If anybody wants to ever run this board for me, I'll send you a 6-pack of beer or something, or some tequila your way. Because I got way too much shit going on here. All right, cool. So we've got about 8 people in the chat watching, actually. Guys, keep it up. Give me your thoughts on these next 5 games, too. Monza game, the next 5 games. If you guys want to hop on, let me put this up real quick. Let me put the link in the chat. All right, Rossoneri Rumble. This is your chance to get on the show and talk shit. Oh, what the hell? I don't know what the hell is that. Why am I getting this message popped up? Hold on. Let me see what's happening here. Why is this shit popping up? No, I don't want this crap. I don't think that's. Hold on, guys, because restream is being. Why did this thing pop up? There we go. Okay, let me try this again. Hold on. Invite link. Yep. Chat. Let me try this again. I don't know if that's the right link. Oh, that's the right link. Okay. There's the link for anyone who's to hop on. Kim, Gio, Chris, Fabio, if you're still there. Fabinho. Hop on. All right, I just finished this mezcal. Saludos, Milan Nation. All right. Yeah, other than that, guys, we're about an hour and 7 minutes in. So covered all the topics I wanted to do today. If you guys want to hop in, I'll be on for another 5-10 minutes. Get your thoughts in on the game. If you really want to talk about Redbird, which I didn't touch today, because like I said, I didn't want to discuss that topic because it frustrates me to hell. It's really upsetting. And it's frustrating. It's aggravating having to talk about the same old shit time and time again about that. And I know certain people getting tired about that, tired hearing myself and other podcasts talking about it. I'm getting sick of it as well, because it just doesn't change until the day that they're out. It's the same old shit. So if you want to talk about Redbird, whatever you want to talk about, discuss, rants, here's your chance. I'm going to count down 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Well, next time, fellas. All right. That's fine. We'll do it again. Try it again. This clown Fonz needs to be fired. Ricardus, what's happening? Just in time. I just finished my mezcal, but cheers to you, Ricardus 16. Yeah, we just touched on Fonzarella. All right, fellas, if there's something else, somebody's going to hop on. I'm going to call it. Oh, MCIG, what's up? What's going on? Big up, big up. Boom, boom style. Big up, big up. That's a old 90s reggae track. I don't listen to reggae as much as I used to, but man, 90s, early 2000s, going to reggae dancehall music. Oof. I see some these parties up at Jamaica, Queens, up in Forest Hills, South Jamaica. If anybody knows Ozone Park, up in Queens, Hillside. What's the other place in Jamaica? Oh yeah, Richmond Hill. Those spots, they used to have some banging, killer reggae parties. And the first one I ever went to, my cousin was a year older than me. He was into that whole scene. He had his crew of people from the neighborhood, mostly Hispanic kids, black kids, kids from the islands, right? Caribbean kids. The first reggae party I went to was at this warehouse. Dude, I was the only, myself and my cousin were the only two white kids in there. And I remember everybody was lighting up, sparking up fatties and getting lit. And 40 is just flowing. And just a haze of smoke everywhere. And just loud reggae music just pumping through the walls. Good times. Yeah. Would you take Mancini? Ricardo's, yeah, I would. I gotta see I gotta look at his stuff again, his tactics, how he sets up and stuff. If it would even fit the team that we have. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, listen, we need an Italian coach, knows the league, knows how to get the players on board quickly, and not this 6-month plan like Fonseca, like Fonzarella. So yeah, I'd take him. Either how I'd take him, Sarri, or Allegri. Yeah, those are my three choices. MCIG, my Chelsea's clown league is a shit show with dueling owners battling each other. But at least you got what's the manager's name at Chelsea? Mareschi. I think he's an upgrade over Fonseca for sure. And to Chelsea's credit, they have a different system. They're just overspending. The amount of fucking players they keep trying to get from South America, and they're just left and right, man. Just stacking up talents, stacking up chips. That's their project. Are they going to win anything? I doubt it. But it looks like they just want to get these kids their values up and sell them, right, and make a profit. That's their plan. That's their money ball. And that's what, if we're going to do Moneyball properly, that's what they should have done, Redbird. Gotten somebody like Diego Santos, somebody like Coyote, somebody like Udogie, maybe some other young, promising Italian players, center backs, whatever, kept Simic. And if they're going to sell them, wait till they get their value up and then sell them. But instead, you get fucking Emerson Royale, has no value at all, and lost his cheek too. So that's that. Other than that, everybody in the chat, everybody watching, Milan Nation, Calcio fans, EPL fans, football fans, thanks again for tuning into the show. Always appreciate it. Always a pleasure having people in the chat, keeping it live, keeping it going. Yeah, Enzo Fernandez. Yeah, true. Murdick was a big waste, Fernandez. But yeah, I agree. Definitely MCIG. All right, boys, ladies, if they're in the chat as well. See ya. Forza Milan, Forza Calcio, Forza football. All right, take it easy. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the games as well, much as you can. I'll be rooting for Milan to win. I don't expect them to have a great game, but let's see. All right, later, and stay tuned. I'm going to play this last track to end the show. All right, take it easy.
Red bird, let burn. Some fans saw the signs from the start. They spoke out, said Redbird don't get it what Milan's about. All these corporate moves got us out of tune. Maldini gone and he pursuing too soon. The soul of the club feeling taken for ransom. Ain't the Milan that we love, feeling ghost and abandoned. Redbird, they stepped in, but where's the soul? Now the curve is echoing, chance so bold. From the start, voices rang. Yeah, we had a plan like, yo, Redbird, let go of Milan. Bought our crest, but they sold our pride. We bled for the red and black, but they're taking us for a ride. Tradition getting lost in their bottom line chase. And the true fans, we just losing face. This city built legends, champions rose, but Redbird don't get it, they just counting zeros. Redbird, they stepped in, but where's the soul? Now the curve is echoing, chance so bold. From the start, voices rang. Yeah, we had a plan like, yo, Redbird, let go of Milan. Reppin' ACM, that means something deep. It ain't all shiny brands, it's a legacy we keep. They think they can buy up the passion we bring, but they don't know what our red and black means. Milanistas calling for respect of our crest. Red bird, you missed it, this ain't no business test. So here's the word from the Curvers chant. You can't buy a history, you gotta understand. From Sheva to Apollo, pride we won't sell. If Red Bird won't listen, then they best farewell. Fans got the passion, this club we uphold. So hear us now, this story's retold. Red Bird, they stepped in, but where's the soul? Now the Curvers echoing chants so bold. From the start, voices rang, yeah, we had a plan like, yo, Red Bird, let go of the line. Red Bird, let go on the line. Red Bird, let go on the line. Red Bird, let go on the line. Bought our crest, but they sold our pride. We bled for the red and black, but they're taking us for a ride. Tradition getting lost in their bottom line chase. And the true fans, we just losing face. This city built legends, champions rose, but Red Bird don't get it, they just counting zeros. Red Bird, they stepped in, but where's the soul? Now the Curvers echoing chants so bold. From the start, voices rang, yeah, we had a plan like, yo, Red Bird, let go on the line. Red Bird, let go on the line. Let go on the line. Red Bird, they stepped in, but where's the soul? Now the Curvers echoing chants so bold. From the start, voices rang, yeah, we had a plan like, yo, Red Bird, let go on the line. Reppin' ACM, that means something deep. It ain't all shiny brands, it's a legacy we keep. They think they can buy up the passion we bring, but they don't know what our red and black means. La la la, red and black, let go on the line. Red Bird, 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 let Bird, let go on the line. Let go on the line.